Hi everyone, my name's Empress. Welcome to this card making tutorial. In this episode we're going to use our Anna Griffin supplies to make a gorgeous card that is versatile and that you could use with other sentiments. Now I'm not going to use many products for this, however there is going to have lots of layers. So hopefully this will give you some inspiration to be able to use other things in your stash. Maybe you don't like the sentiment, maybe you need to use something else. Try it. It's your creativity. I just want to be able to show you ideas of how to use products, and then you can go away and think, oh, I can do that. Everything I do use will be in a detailed list on my blog, plus also has been for sale at some point in the UK when Anna's been on our screens. I know my friends across the pond, you have lots of outlets and stores to be able to get Anna's products from. We're very limited over here, however everything has been on the screens unless I say otherwise, and that's only for a handful of products that I have that I purchased myself last year when I was in the US. Okay, so let's make a card. Now don't forget you can always comment on Facebook, on my blog, you can contact me directly, and you can comment on YouTube as well, where I can reply, I'm happy to say. Now for new viewers, I'm just using a bone folder from the Anna Griffin tool collection to make sure that my card has a nice neat edge. And this is a 7x5 inch card. It's my favourite size of card, and it's not too big, not too small to, you know, overpower anything or be too daunting for new crafters. The dies that we're going to use today are the lace edge dies. Now there's not many, as I said, there's not many products in this. There are 6 products. Trelliage die cuts, lace edge die set, foil layers, 7x5 metallic layers, a large blue bow and a 7x5 card. So there we go, that's what it says as I've written it down. These are the lace edge dies from Anna, and these are beautiful dies. We're going to be using these 2 dies, both the actual ornate layer and the shadow layer. You get 6 dies in this collection. Now I'm not here to sell the collection, but I just want to show you that you do get absolutely beautiful dies. We're not going to be using the border, so we don't have to look at that. But these are just absolutely beautiful, all of them, and the border included. So we'll use those 2, or should I say 4, with the shadow dies. And we're going to start off, as always, with the inside of our card. Now, I think the inside of this card is a great idea and way to be able to use something quick and easy. Now we're using the foil layers set 1 from Anna in the pale blue with the kind of daisy frame outer edge. I've trimmed it slightly so it's going to fit for the inside of my card because the 7x5 inches in size. So I've just trimmed it down slightly. I've taken one of the sentiments from the Trelliage Die Cut collection. I've got double-sided tape on the back of it, and I've also taken some of the pale blue metallic cardstock. Now I've used my own scalloped circle die. They could be any die, but mine is just a nesting collection of scalloped dies, just to make a circle for a frame for it, shall we say. Then I've taken one of the die cuts from the Trelliage collection, and I think I might be wrong here, these could be hollyhocks. So I'm not sure, we'll call them flowers, but I'm a little bit ignorant when it comes to different flowers. Some of them I know, but I'm no Percy thrower. And that, for my friends across the pond, was a very famous gardener here. So I've got flat tape on the back of my flowers, and I've actually cut using a craft knife. Now if you're not sure or you don't use a craft knife, use your scissors. I've just cut a line above the word best for the best wishes, and I'm going to slot the flower into that, and it just hangs over slightly around the word. So you can see it slots in there and just hangs over, and on the back it's gone through the cut and it's stuck to our tape. So my scallop circle, I can now add these two items too. Take the tape away from the scallop circle and then add this to the inside of our card. Now that, I think, is a quick, easy touch that you can use on so many different projects. On a scrapbooking page, something like that. We're going to add this, I think. I'm going to go centre. Now I know you're all at home going, oh no, go to the side, go to this side, do this, do that. I'm going to go to the centre because it's going to follow on for the front of our card. Obviously you can place it wherever you like. You've only got a little bit of room to add your sentiment and to, from, etc. But it's not really a card that you're going to write your life story in. So if you're going to do that, you know, add a separate piece of paper. Or make a little note card. So now we can turn our attention to the front. We're going to use our bone folder just again to make sure that's a nice sharp crease along that edge. And our first layer is a layer from the 7x5 metallic layers collection from Anna Griffin. And I know you're all sat there saying, oh my word, you've got 2 apertures in it. Now I've used this to die cut 2 of these that we're using for the card. I'm being frugal, I'm saving my cardstock, I'm not wasting it, and I know sometimes we don't always save our cardstock as we use the layers, but just for this one I have done. So don't worry about the 2 holes, we're going to cover those up with the rest of the layers that we're going to use. Now this is a true 7x5 size, so it's going to cover our card front completely, like so. And as I say, don't let the apertures that I've already die cut in fool you, because we're now going to cover that up. And we're going to cover it up with one of the foil layers. Now we used one of the foil layers for the inside. Now for the outside, we've actually cut away the edge and we've got it on 3D foam, and we're going to add this over the blue layer that we've just added so it covers up the apertures that we've cut, pressing it down for that 3D foam. Next, this is where our die cutting comes in. We've die cut the shadow layer of the large lace die and the ornate layer. The shadow layer is in the metallic blue cardstock and the shadow layer is in the gold foil cardstock. And what happens is you marry one up with the other. I've got 3D foam on the back of the ornate layer with just a little bit of an escapee out of one of the holes. So we'll get rid of that. So that's on 3D foam. I can place one on top of the other. Now I did say there's lots of layers in this card. So we marry that up, press it down. There's lots of places on the back to be able to add your 3D foam. Look at the shine. You can nearly see me. Way. On the back of the actual shadow layer I've got 3D foam. I've been a bit excessive with it there. I don't know what, maybe I was daydreaming. I'm adding the large lace layer to the front of the card, like that. Press it down. So we're on 3 layers already. Next, we're going to use the smaller of the lace dies, the lace edge dies. I've cut the shadow layer out of the metallic blue cardstock. and again the ornate layer out of the gold cardstock. Now these are both on flat tape, so there's not a 3D layer here, but I am positioning one on top of the other, so you can see it gives the shadow effect. Press it down. I can take the tape away from the back, oops, of my layer, and then add the layer to our previous one, like so. There we go. Matching the layers. Oh, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. I could send it just like that with the sentiments on the middle, in the middle. Right, next we're back to our Trelliage flowers and our could-be hollyhocks. I've got flat tape on the back of this, and I'm going to add it quite central onto our lace layers. I'm also going to now add my middle sentiment that says "to my friend." This is with flat tape underneath it, and I'm going to add it to the die cut scallop circle, like so. 3D foam on the back, and I'm going to just add that through the centre over the flower. Then I've got two more flowers, and I think these are hydrangeas, but I'm not sure. And I've got 3D foam on the back, and I'm just going to add these just to the side of our sentiment, like so. Actually, we'll pop them underneath, I think. They'll sit better there around the sentiment. There we go. And press them down. And then I can finish the card with a gorgeous blue bow. And I'll pop that at the bottom. And how pretty is that? With just a few ingredients. And the inside matches perfectly. Stands up perfectly. Oh, super duper, as they say. I love the gold and the blue. It brings out the, I'm going to say brings out the colours. That sounds a bit wrong. But it just makes it sing. It's definitely a mantelpiece master, is that one. That, it's just, anybody who receives that is going to be like, oh wow, you must have taken ages to make that. No, not really. And it's just a perfect card. I do hope you've enjoyed watching. I hope it's given you a few ideas, and it's maybe made you think outside the box a little bit. Please check my blog for so many other projects, and I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching. I shall see you next time.